Linda do? That'll do. I'll just have to make sure I don't forget to return it.
Hey, Sophie.
Oh, hey, Andrew. On break already?
No, not yet. I have to deliver something to our VIP guest.
Again?
Yeah, the requests just keep on coming. What about you? Aren't you supposed to be in 509?
I'm heading up now. I just had to grab Linda's master key before I could continue our investigation.
Ah, gotcha. What a day, huh? Tending to an eccentric VIP guest, discovering, well, what you discovered in 505. Pretty exciting as far as a workday at the Clarington goes.
Yeah, that's definitely one way to put it. That's not all, though. While I was looking for my keys, I found some graffiti on Linda's door.
No way. What is it?
The words, hypocrite bitch, in red lipstick. I wonder who could have written it.
Call this an educated guess, but Wendy has a pretty solid motive to me. You'd have to be living under a rock to miss how Linda's been treating her lately.
Whatever happened, I'd rather not get involved.
Yeah, that's probably wise. We wouldn't want to make things worse. Interpersonal conflict makes for a good read, but in real life it can be a bit much to deal with. You've always been good at staying above it, though. You get along with everyone.
I don't think I get along with everyone, but some people are worth getting friendlier with. Like you.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad not everyone around here thinks I'm a complete bore. Wait till Beth hears this. Well, it was nice to chat. Don't let me keep you, though. I have to head to maintenance anyway. Maybe Eugene can help me find the product our guest of honor is looking for.
Yeah, we both got a lot on our plates today.
I'll be ready and waiting for your updates on H&M. Take care.
You too.
Oh, I do have 506 next on my list. Should I pop in before checking? Oh boy, someone's been living it up. I'm sure I'll find more laundry. Let's put those on the bathroom shelf. should bring that back to my cart. Looks like someone tore that note apart, but I'm missing some pieces. I can't make out what's written. Cruz got her personal information. Fernie and Wiseman. I wonder what it is they do. Hello? Hello? Andrew? Is that you?
Hotel reception desk.
Andrew?
Hey, Sophie.
Did you just call me?
No, I didn't.
Then who called?
I'm not sure I understand.
Someone just called, and they said nothing. All I could hear was static and breathing.
That's pretty unsettling. Hang on. Hey, Beth? You got a minute?
No.
Give me a second, Sophie. Okay, so Beth tells me she just patched a call through to 509.
Can you ask her not to patch any calls here for a while?
Yeah, sure thing.
Thanks. I haven't had time to check all of 509 yet, so I better get back to it.
Wait a second. I just remembered something about this morning. I can't believe I didn't think about it before.
What is it?
A few minutes after Mr. Morgan knocked over that vase in the lobby, I saw Mrs. Cruz rush out of the hotel, all alone.
Really? Do you know what time it was exactly?
I think it was a minute or two after 10. What?
I remember hearing a loud noise on the 5th floor right around that time. Like a door slamming really hard.
You think it was her?
Maybe.
Hopefully I can make sense of all of this.
I'm sure you can. Give me a call as soon as you've found something, okay?
Okay. Thanks for the info.
It's some kind of code. Could I break it? Oh, these symbols match some of the ones on the torn message. That's one of the symbols. Yes, these are part of the same set. More of these symbols. Just what I was looking for. Am I reading this right? Aha! I'll have to remember these. Yeah. I think these match the symbols on the papers I collected. The storm must be getting worse. I hope Mom's not too bored without her TV shows. Yes, these are part of the same set. I think I can use this. More of these symbols. That's one of the symbols. I will leave notes in the vent next to your room.
Clarington Hotel reception desk. Andrew speaking.
Hey, Andrew. It's me.
Sophie, did you uncover anything in 509?
I did. I found a message written in strange symbols. A kind of secret code.
What? Awesome. Did you crack it?
It says, I will leave notes in the vent next to your room.
In the vent? What an odd thing to do.
Yeah. And whoever the message was intended for went through a lot of trouble to hide it. It was torn in 12 pieces and scattered in 3 different trash cans.
So the cruises are keeping secrets from each other. Do you think maybe one of them's having an affair?
Well, that's possible. It's quite obvious they're having marital problems.
What makes you say that?
I'm pretty sure the husband was sentenced to sleeping in the living room. I found a pillow and some sheets on the couch.
Don't you think he might have fallen asleep in front of the TV? I know my dad does that a lot. Often with the volume turned way up high. Drives my mother crazy. Did you find anything else?
No, not really. But I should be able to find more proof in the vent. The one that's mentioned in the message. I think I'll go check it out.
Good idea. It's almost break time for me. If you need my help again, you can ask Beth to patch you through to the break room.
All right. Enjoy your break.
Thanks, Sophie.
Sure. It could have been on my door for a few minutes. Or an hour.
An hour? Christ. How did they even get that letter?
Wendy must have gone through my trash.
Wendy? What's this obsession of yours with her?
It's not an obsession. I know she did it.
Linda.
To get back at me. She thinks it's my fault Jack broke up their engagement.
Do you have any proof?
No. But it's her. I'm sure of it.
Now that's enough. You know what I think? I think you wrote that message.
What? Don't be absurd.
Absurd? Earlier in my office, I told you I wouldn't fire Wendy without good reason. So I think you wrote that message to give me one. Well, let me tell you, I've had enough of your little games. You don't like Wendy? Fine. You won't be seeing her again.
Good. It's about time you listen to me.
You won't be seeing her again because you're fired.
Fired? But Bernard, what about us?
Us? There's no us. Take your things and leave my hotel.
Oh, no.
Can't open these without a screwdriver. Highest priority, huh? That means Eugene's probably working in Bernard's office right now. Now's probably not a good time to disturb Bernard.
It's, Miss Bellevet, isn't it?
What? Oh, Roy.
Oh, right. You're the one who took last week off, aren't you? You had to, take care of your sister, I think?
Mother. My mother. She's very sick.
No, I hope this doesn't become a recurring thing. I need to know I can count on you.
I understand, sir.
What are you doing here, anyway? Are you on break?
Yes, I am.
Don't take too long.
No, I won't.
What's going on?
Oh, Andrew.
Oh, sorry. Seems I've made a habit of sneaking up on you today. Spying on Bernard again?
No, I'm looking for a screwdriver. For the vent. Linda asked Eugene to fix Bernard's window.
Ah, gotcha.
Eugene?
What the... maybe you should go have a look. You know what? I'll stand guard by the elevator and, holler if Bernard approaches.
Okay, thanks. I'll be quick. With this blizzard, Bernard's office will be a skating rink by the end of the day. Best to avoid that. Aha! Let's get you to that vet.
Do you remember that loose tile from last week?
Yes?
Well, I'm afraid it hasn't been properly repaired.
What do you mean?
I mean that, it's still broken, sir. Someone put a rug on top of it, but you can still hear it crack. I'm just checking to make sure guests don't trip over it.
Is that part of your job description?
No, it isn't, sir.
Well, then I suggest you stop worrying about Miss Bellevet. What were you doing in my office?
I was looking for a screwdriver to fix a loose vent.
A loose vent? Well, that sounds like a job for Eugene, doesn't it? And why on earth would you look for a screwdriver in my office?
I thought Eugene might be there.
Well, I don't ever want to see you in my office without permission again. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Mrs. Drake has asked to see you.
Again?
Just indulge her. Apologize one more time for Friday's mishap. Do whatever needs to be done. We cannot afford to lose such loyal guests.
Very well, sir. Whew. I think my heart stopped beating there for a moment.
Yeah, me too. But at least I found what I was looking for.
Perfect. Now, I should probably get to it before you-know-who comes out of his office again. Keep me posted.
Oh, I guess I'm free to disturb room 508 now. Meet me tonight in my room. Michael will be sleeping. We need to discuss our plan.
Clarington Hotel reception desk. Andrew speaking.
It's me.
Hey, you got anything good for me?
I found another message written in secret code.
And?
It says, "Meet me tonight in my room. Michael will be sleeping. We need to discuss our plan."
Who's Michael? A guest's husband?
I don't know. It's the first time I'm hearing of a Michael in this story.
Yeah, the cast keeps getting bigger. I'll just check the logbook. There's a Michael staying in room 507.
Mrs. Beaumont's room? But she doesn't have a husband. She's here alone with... Oh! Michael must be her son. I got him some extra blankets the other day so he could build a fort.
That's really nice of you. So, Mrs. Beaumont is linked to the cruises, huh? I have a feeling we may be approaching the climax of this story.
I guess I should go have a look at 507, but it's not on my list. There's a do not disturb sign on the door.
How about I call up there? You know, to make sure no one's home.
Good idea.
Just a sec. Well, it looks like the room is ready for your snooping, my lady.
Thank you, good sir. I'll call you back. He's all but outright threatening you. Oh, I hope you can stay as far. Oh, looks like someone grew tired of looking at your face, Mr. Beaumont. Those few coins in my tip jar were getting pretty lonely. Aw, that's so sweet. I didn't do much, but I'm glad it meant something to you. That look in your eyes. What does it mean? And who is this from? Aha! Keys are Snoop's best friend. I'll need another key to unlock this. Haven't I seen one just like this somewhere? Ah, there you are. With Marcella. God knows where she is.
Clarington Hotel reception desk, Andrew speaking.
Hey, Andrew.
Sophie, crazy timing. I've got something for you.
Oh, what is it?
I heard a certain Mr. Cruz and a Mr. Morgan had an argument yesterday evening.
Really? Who told you that?
Jacques did. Apparently, it got so heated he had to get involved. And it sounds like we were on the right track, because he heard a particular word thrown around quite a lot. Can you guess what it is?
Affair?
Exactly.
How bad was the fight?
I think Jacques got in the middle of it before it got too intense, but he said Mr. Cruz looked like he was about to kill Mr. Morgan. So Mrs. Cruz must be having an affair with him, right? And her husband found out?
Maybe, but that doesn't explain Mrs. Beaumont's involvement with Mrs. Cruz.
What do you mean?
I found a chest in room 507. I think it can only be opened by turning 2 keys at once. I found one of them in Mrs. Beaumont's things.
What about the second one?
Well, I remembered seeing a similar key in one of Mr. Morgan's stocking pictures, so I went back to check. Mrs. Cruz wears it as a pendant. It looks identical to Mrs. Beaumont's key.
Let me get this straight. Mrs. Beaumont and Mrs. Cruz own identical keys that open a chest with 2 locks? Okay, there's definitely something going on between them.
I think Mrs. Cruz and Mrs. Beaumont might be the ones having the affair.
Really? Well, it is the 1950s after all. I guess anything's possible. Did you find any clues that might support this?
Not really. There probably are some clues in that chest, but I don't think I'll be able to open it. I've looked around room 509. I would have seen the second key if it was there. Mrs. Cruz must have left with it this morning.
Probably.
We were so close. I can't believe it all ends here.
Well, if you get me a candle and some plaster, I may be able to do something about that chest.
How?
I'll tell you later, okay? Just find those things, and I'll meet you in the basement as soon as I can.
All right. Thank you for not giving up.
I would never give up on you.
Great. This takes care of half of this little scavenger hunt. As for the candles, doesn't Rebecca keep some in her locker downstairs?
I usually do this in my office, but, well, it's currently under renovation.
I don't mind being in here. Just
It is, isn't it? If you get the job, it would be all yours. Well, mostly yours. I'd come visit, of course.
Really? Oh, I've never had an office before.
I thought you said you'd been employed as a governess.
I have, but I guess my former employers didn't think I needed one.
Oh, I think they may have had a point. Hiding that pretty face of yours in an office would be downright criminal.
Well, if you look at my resume, you'll see that...
Have you ever thought of working as a receptionist instead?
I don't think that would suit me. Having to smile all day long sounds, quite exhausting.
That's a pity. You're even prettier when you smile.
Anyway, I like being a governess. Managing the team, and making sure everyone does their work on time. I think I'm fairly good at it, too. If you care to look at my resume, you'll see that I've been in charge of many...
Yes. I don't doubt you're very good at your job, but do you have any other, talent?
Talent. Well, I play the guitar,
The guitar?
and I've been told I can hold my own at tennis.
Right. Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Why not? Well, surely men must be all over you.
Yes, sadly they are. I myself prefer the company of women, which is probably why I enjoy managing a team of maids so much. Now, how about we look at that resume I worked so hard on?
Yes. All right.
All right, we're getting somewhere. Now, to resist the temptation to spend it on a burger at Harry's.
Pronounced just by Linda.
Yes, I've heard.
I'm so sorry, Wendy. I've been such a fool. I can't believe Linda would try to frame you like that.
You can't?
I mean, yes, I can. That's what I'm trying to say. I should have believed you. Do you ever find it in your heart to forgive me?
I don't know if I can.
I understand.
But I can try.
Really? Oh, Wendy, I love you so much.
Gotta hold on to these tight. Andrew? Gosh, I hardly recognize... Figures that if you were going to break it, what happened to you before you came to Montreal? Why don't you want to go back home? Mr. VIP is really... I hope you managed to calm him down, Reb. The last thing the Clarington needs today is a murdered guest. Stash uncovered. Got a candle. Now, what next?
There you are.
I'm not sure I understand what the plan is here.
Well, I remember reading a spy novel, I can't remember the title, it wasn't that good, in which they used wax and plaster to make a key mold. I'm thinking we could do the same.
Are you sure it's gonna work?
Sure? No. In the novel, they used a special kind of wax, not candle wax. But I think it's worth a shot.
Yeah, you're right.
So let's do this, shall we? First step, pour the wax, I suppose? Careful though, the pot's probably hot. That's it. Nicely done. Next step, better wait a few seconds before removing it.
Hold on.
Looks good.
That's not what's next.
Pretty sure you can take it out now. I think we're almost done. All that's left is to pour the plaster from the cup into the mold. Good job. So now we wait until it's dry, I guess.
How long do you think it's gonna take?
A few minutes, probably. We can poke it every now and then to check.
I bet you didn't think you'd be making a plaster key today, huh?
No. But I like it. I feel like I'm in one of those novels I spend my days reading.
Have you ever read banned books?
What do you mean?
You know, books banned by the church. I heard, Copernicus is a pretty interesting read.
Huh. Funny you should say that. It's on my list, actually. Although I can confirm it takes a more scientific mind than mine to enjoy it.
I suppose there's a reason why those books are illegal, right?
Well, the church did persecute Galileo for saying the Earth revolved around the sun, and not the other way around. So, even as a man of the cloth, I don't mind saying their judgment isn't always the best.
How do you get your hands on those books? It must be pretty hard.
Well, if you know the right people in the right bookstores, you can get your hands on just about anything. It takes a lot of time and money, though. Sometimes these books come from halfway across the globe.
Really? It must be so nice for writers to know their books travel around the world like that. Have you ever thought about being one?
A writer? Oh, oh no. I'm terrible.
So you've tried?
I thought for a while it would be my true calling, but one of my roommates read my manuscript and assured me it wasn't for me. And what about you? Do you write?
Not really. I mean, I have this journal in which I write about my day and stuff, you know? And sometimes I scribble down some story ideas, but I've never had the time to properly develop them.
Hey, why don't you come over sometime? We could read each other's writing. What do you think?
Okay, why not? Just promise not to laugh.
I won't laugh at yours if you don't laugh at mine. But seriously, I'm sure you're underselling yourself. With all the things you see in guests' rooms, that brain of yours must be bursting with great ideas.
Maybe. We'll see.
Oh, look. I think our key double is dry and ready to go.
I can't believe it worked. I could not have done this without you.
Well, I'm glad I was able to be of some help. I should get back upstairs, though. I've been gone far too long already. Let me know how it goes with the key. Oh, and you should probably be careful when you turn it. Otherwise, it could break inside the lock.
Yeah, I'll be careful. Thank you for everything.
You're welcome, Sophie.
Be careful, Sophie. You don't want this key to break. Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Marcella invited you to the movies. Let me guess. You said yes.
Clarington Hotel reception desk. Andrew speaking.
Hey, Andrew. Got a minute?
I always have time for you.
I opened the chest in room 507.
Huh? It worked.
Yeah, I really wasn't sure, but our little key's sturdier than it looks.
Yeah. So, what's in the chest?
A riddle.
A riddle?
I think it was written by Mrs. Beaumont for Mrs. Cruz. And I think the answer will give me the combination for a case I found in room 509. I could use your help with it, though.
That's awesome. I love riddles. Tell me, which part's causing you trouble?
Her alliterative name will surely take you back.
Intriguing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what alliterative means.
Oh, it's a series of words that start with the same sound or letters. Like perpetual peril. Does that help you?
I think I know what to do.
Of course you do. Anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you.
My pleasure. I'm just glad I could finally put my riddle-solving skills to good use. Call me when you've opened that case.
You know I will. A cat named Greta. G.R. Doris Day. That's an alliteration, isn't it? Doris. I.S. That novelist, Bridget Boswell, is actually you, Marcel? Oh, Anne. Murder. So the symbols I've been deciphering, you invented them back in the day to keep your love secret. I do like a happy ending. Oh, So, you came to Montreal after all this. Turns out you're a fan. I'm glad you were able to open up to an advance on my... Oh, Lindsay's a man. Yeah, I guess it was presumptuous of me to think otherwise.
So this was all a story about star-crossed lovers, with the lovers in question being Mrs. Beaumont and Mrs. Cruz.
Seems like it, yeah. But I'm not sure whether they chose to meet here just to reconnect for a few days, or if there's something more to it.
Actually, I think I can help with that.
Really? How?
Well, some mail just arrived here for Mrs. Beaumont.
I wonder what's in it.
Me too.
Should we open it?
Well, that's illegal, isn't it? But sometimes the mail arrives a little damaged, you know? Oops.
So?
It's a tourism pamphlet for California and 3 train tickets. What do you think this means?
I'd say Anne and Marcella are probably planning to run away from their husbands. Those train tickets must be for them and Michael.
So you're on a first-name basis now, huh?
Well, after reading so much of their correspondence, I kind of feel like I know them, you know?
Yeah, like characters in a book. I have to say, though, I'm still a bit confused as to how Paul fits into all of this.
I'm not sure exactly. I'd say Hector hired him to find out about his wife's affair, which would explain why the two of them argued last night, but... Well, I think Marcella's the one who hired him. Plus, it seems he's a fan of her novels, so I'm confused.
Yeah, it is very puzzling. And why did he have those pictures of you?
We'll probably never know. I think the trail ends here.
I guess investigations in real life always have some loose ends. I was kinda hoping we'd have this big third act reveal, to be honest.
At least it made our day pretty interesting.
That's for sure. It helped me understand you better, too.
Oh?
Why you snoop, I mean. Piecing together people's stories, learning what makes them tick. It makes you realize we may have more in common than it seems.
You're right. Which is why the next story I'd like to learn is yours, Andrew.
Oh? Am I gonna find you snooping through my apartment next?
No.
I would love to share my story with you, Sophie. You're the first person in a long time who's made me feel like I can. Would you come and see me when your shift ends? We could leave together, if you'd like.
Sure. If we're able to. With all that snow, I'm thinking maybe we'll have no choice but to spend the night here.
I guess that wouldn't be so bad. We could set up a pillow fort on the mezzanine.
A pillow fort? We do work in a hotel, you know. There are actual beds here.
Oh, I wouldn't be sleeping. I've got a reading list the size of the Eiffel Tower. This would be the perfect chance to put a dent in it.
That does sound like fun. I could bring my magazines and, ooh, maybe light some of Rebecca's candles.
Now I kinda hope we do get stuck here.
I just have to finish my tasks for the day, and then I can leave. Mr. Cruz? Mr. Cruz. Oh God. Oh God. What happened? Just stop for a second, Sophie. Is there anything you missed? Mr. Cruz's life insurance. Is this about Paul? Does that mean... Hello? Isn't... Should I hold on to this, maybe? Might need this to restore power. That worked, thank God. Now, to get the power back. Is there anything I've forgotten? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Montreal Police Service, Station 22.
There's a man dead. He's been murdered. I need the police.
Please stay calm, ma'am. Where are you right now?
The lobby, but the body, it's upstairs.
Can you give me the address, please?
Oh, 1178 Drummond Street.
All right, ma'am. Officers are on their way.
Thank you.
Hey, you're here. I've tried restoring the power, but I think Eugene's the only one with the key to the fuse box, and Sophie? Don't worry, I'll find a way to bring the lights back on. Hey, you look a bit pale. Is everything okay?
I found Mr. Cruz. Hector.
He's back? How's he taking that whole thing with his wife?
You don't understand. I found his body. He's dead, Andrew.
Jesus. Maybe you need to sit down, huh? Did you call the police?
Yeah, they're on their way.
What happened? Was he sick or something?
No, I don't think so. Someone did this to him.
You mean... Jesus. Do you think it could be Paul?
What about Anne and Marcella? Their affair is a pretty good motive.
The police will want to ask you a lot of questions. You may want to be careful about what you tell them. With Paul's history of mental illness, there's a good chance they'll suspect him even if he didn't do it.
I think I know what you mean. Some people seem to assume that spending time in a psychiatric hospital means you're a murderous psychopath.
Yeah, they really do.
But wait, how do you know about Paul's mental illness? I don't remember mentioning it to you.
Oh, look, I really should have told you before. It's just, when I was 19, I studied to be a priest. But I felt so lost. I couldn't enjoy the things I used to like. I could barely get myself out of bed. So I ended up going to a psychiatric hospital.
The same one as Paul, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. The doctors, they helped me get back on my feet. But when I returned to my hometown, it was like I had become a complete stranger. My mother kept telling me I was making it worse in my head, but I swear, people were changing sidewalks when they saw me, looking at me as if I was this dangerous creature all of a sudden. That's why I didn't tell you. I was afraid you'd look at me like they did. I'm sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. I understand.
You do?
You know how I tell everyone that my mom's sick, bedridden? Well, it's true, but I always leave out the part about her illness not being physical. I'm ashamed of the truth. So even though I don't know exactly what you went through, I can understand.
Thank you for telling me. I know it's not an easy thing to talk about, but if you ever want to talk about your mom, I'm here. They're here. Promise me you'll be careful with the information you share.
Yeah, of course.
Miss Roy? Miss Roy? Miss Roy!
Oh, sorry. I was distracted.
I really need you to focus right now. I don't want to be here all night, and I'm sure you don't either.
No, I don't.
So, as I was saying, we're trying to ascertain the circumstances of Mr. Cruz's death. Can you tell me how you came to find the body?
I was cleaning room 509 when I heard the elevator bell ring. Again and again and again. I thought maybe a child was playing with the doors, so I went out in the corridor, and that's when I saw him. All the blood and...
Why was the elevator bell ringing?
I'm sorry?
You said you heard the elevator bell ring. Why was it ringing? I assume it wasn't a child after all.
Well, Mr. Cruz's body was preventing the doors from closing.
Really? When we found the body, it wasn't that close to the doors.
Oh, the stairs are blocked because of the renovations, so the elevator's the only way out of the 5th floor. I had no choice but to move the body. Just a little.
Ah, so that explains the traces we found. Thank you for clearing that up. So, what did you do after that?
Well, that's when the power cut. So I had to go to the janitor's closet.
To access the fuse box.
Exactly. I changed a few fuses and turned the power back on.
But there's a lock on that box, isn't there? Did you have the key?
No, I didn't. Only Eugene does. But I thought an ice pick might do the trick, so I went to the ice machine to get one.
You're a size 7, I suppose.
Yes, I am. Why?
What did you see when you went to the ice machine?
There was blood. A lot of it.
Did you touch anything?
No. No, nothing.
That's weird. It sure looks like someone poked around the crime scene. Oh well. We'll know more once the fingerprint analysis comes in, won't we? So, what did you do after restoring the power?
I took the elevator down to the lobby. That's where I called the police.
Do you remember what you said to the operator? The exact words.
No, I'm afraid I don't.
You said, there's a man dead. He's been murdered.
That's possible.
What makes you so sure it was murder?
I just assumed. What with all the blood.
I'm afraid I don't believe that, Miss Roy. It's more than an assumption, isn't it?
I'm not sure I understand what you...
I know you like going through your guests' personal belongings. We've found pictures of you snooping around.
Oh.
Now, unless you want me to arrest you for violating your guests' privacy, I suggest you tell me everything you know.
All right.
We've learned from one of your colleagues that the victim had a fight with a guest named Mr. Spade. What can you tell me about him?
He spent some time in a psychiatric hospital after the war. That's when he got into Mrs. Cruz's novels, and they really helped him.
Yes, I already know about his time in a madhouse. We called the place and they painted quite the picture of him. Did you ever see him display odd behavior in or around the hotel?
No. I mean, we've all got our little quirks, don't we?
Did he seem obsessed with Mrs. Cruz?
A little, maybe, but...
Obsessed enough to kill her husband?
No, nothing like that. We all have our obsessions. Me, for instance. I'm obsessed with celebrities and gossip magazines, and...
You don't seem to understand, Miss Roy. Mr. Spade is not like you and me. He may look like us, but he's not. He's dangerous and needs to be taken off the streets. So tell me, did you ever see him be violent or aggressive?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry I can't be of more help.
No, I'm sure you are. But we're not quite done yet, Miss Roy. The victim's wife, Marcella Cruz. Apparently she left in quite a hurry this morning. What can you tell me about her?
She's having an affair, but it's not what you think. She's been in love with another woman since college. They've been apart for more than 10 years, and now
Yes, I know all about Mrs. Cruz and Mrs. Beaumont's sexual deviance. Have you ever witnessed them engaging in immoral behavior?
What do you mean?
I'm asking if you've seen them being, you know, intimate.
No, I haven't. No.
And did you hear them discuss their deviant ways in front of Mrs. Beaumont's son, perhaps? Imagine what kind of effect such perversion can have on a young child.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Did you hear them express their hatred of men? Did they ever talk about using violence against men? Did you hear them speak ill of Mr. Cruz?
No, I didn't hear any of that.
I'm sorry, Miss Roy, but I just don't believe you. I think you know more than you've let on.
Can I please leave?
You can. But you'd better stay in town. I'm sure I'll have more questions for you very soon.
Bernard was strangely chipper on the phone. The atmosphere is so different, and it'll probably be a while before the hotel reopens.
I'll go empty my locker.
Andrew,
Hey,
are you okay?
I've just been fired.
What? No,
It's okay. I just need some time to process it. I'll be on the mezzanine if you want to join me afterwards.
yeah. Yeah, okay.
Ah, Miss Roy. Come in. I suppose you know why you're here?
I'm not sure, actually. Your phone call was a bit vague.
Yes, well, I prefer to have this conversation in person. We've been getting a lot of press lately, and not the good kind. I wouldn't expect you to understand the position I'm in, but I assure you, it's quite uncomfortable. To have one's life's work blown away like that. All thanks to some sexual deviance and a nut job. It's obvious to me now that I haven't been firm enough. For guests of such morals to be comfortable booking a few nights here and committing such a horrid act? Things need to change. This means elevating our standards to the highest possible level, and it starts with the people working here. It starts with you.
With me?
Yes. From what I've heard, you've been quite the exemplary maid lately. Clean rooms, satisfied guests.
I take my job very seriously, sir.
As you should. Now that Linda's no longer an employee of the hotel, I'm in need of a new governess. Someone diligent and hardworking. Someone who, like me, upholds the Claringtons' high standards. Now, if what I've heard from Linda and some of the guests is true, I believe that person might be you. So, what do you say? Will you be the Claringtons' new governess?
Would it come with a raise?
I see you're a pragmatist. Yes, it would.
Okay, then I'll do it.
Now, you have to be aware that this is a very demanding position. Are you sure you're ready for it?
I think... yes, I am.
Good. I expect you to be here on Monday, first thing in the morning. There's a lot of work to be done before the reopening. That'll be all.
Hey.
Hey,
What a week.
you don't say. So what did Bernard want with you?
He offered me Linda's job.
Wow. Congratulations. It's too bad I won't get to see your leadership skills in action.
I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault.
I know, but it's so unfair that I get promoted while you lose your job.
Don't feel bad about it. You need it more than I do.
Did Bernard say why he was firing you?
Well, I told him about my time at the psychiatric hospital.
Really?
Yeah. He said that didn't fit with the hotel's standards and showed me the door.
So, what's next for you?
I think I'd like to be my own boss. No more Bernard looking over my shoulder. I've had this dream for a while of maybe opening a bookstore.
I can't say I'm surprised.
It just makes so much sense. I'd be able to combine the two things I love most, reading books and helping people. Granted, helping people find books is a far cry from helping them find God, but...
My mom likes to say, there's no job too small. Plus, just by the way you're talking about it, it's obvious it'd make you happy. And that's what really matters, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. I'm really glad I have you in my life.
Me too. Can I?
Kiss me?
Yes.
Please do.
That was...
Yeah, it was.
What do you think will happen to them?
Who?
Sorry, my mind wanders sometimes. I meant Paul, Anne, and Marcella. Do you think they'll be released?
What do you think?
I don't know. I wish they'd get a happy ending, but I'm not sure it's that kind of story.
I'd like to believe it is. I think Paul becomes a famed photographer. He gets his own studio and decorates it like a hotel bathroom. As for Anne and Marcella, they move in together. But they keep leaving each other notes in the vents. You know, for old time's sake.
I like it. Maybe you should write that.
Maybe I will.